it's Corrina, your virtual health coach, and today I want to give you some tips on how to look and feel younger. I'm going to be talking about antioxidants, what they are, and showing you some good healthy food sources to get them. I'll also be sharing some other helpful tips on how you can slow the aging process to feel and look more youthful. So aging is a very natural process. This is something that we can't really stop, literally speaking, but we can slow down the effects of aging. And we can observe that some people look young for their age and some people look older than they really are. So what is at the root of aging and how can we slow down the effects of the aging process? So the first tip deals with one of the primary theories behind aging, and that is oxidative stress. And this is where antioxidants come in. Now, for most of my life, I had no idea what an antioxidant was and why we are encouraged to eat them. But the basic thing to understand is that antioxidants help to combat the effects of oxidation. So essentially what happens is that when chemical reactions are going on in your body, and these chemical reactions involve oxygen, which is a lot of them, you'll end up with these little kind of loose change or leftovers at the end of those chemical reactions. So these are called reactive oxygen species. They're also called free radicals, it's another term. And basically, these are highly reactive molecules that will then go around to your healthy tissues, your healthy DNA, and other parts of your body, and actually steal electrons from those healthy cells, which is going to result in damage, or even complete dysfunction, depending on the extent of this oxidative stress. So quite literally, an antioxidant is a molecule that can energetically neutralize these free radicals. And in this way, they help to reduce the amount of oxidative damage or oxidative stress that those little free radicals can cause. So we get large amounts of free radicals from things like UV exposure, sun exposure, smoking, and from things like processed foods, which cause an incredibly large amount of chemical reactions that your body has to do just to break those things down. So eating natural foods is beneficial in two different ways from this perspective of oxidation. First of all, because they're natural foods, they're going to be metabolized and broken down by the body more easily, and there's less chemical reactions involved in this process of breaking them down. So already we have a reduced amount of these free radicals as compared to when we eat something that's highly processed. Secondarily, our natural foods and fruits and vegetables are incredible sources of antioxidants. So they're kind of a double hitter in terms of being beneficial in helping to slow this aging process. So in this video, I just want to share a couple of antioxidant foods with you. And if you would like to see a video dedicated to foods that give you good sources of antioxidants, you can let me know. I would be happy to make a video like that for you. So you've probably heard of the goji berry or the acai berry, and that these superfoods are promoted for their very high antioxidant activity. And it is true that these exotic fruits are very, very good sources of antioxidants, and in many cases contain more oxidants gram for gram than your other fruits and vegetables. But it's really important to understand that just because those superfoods have a lot of antioxidants, our regular fruits still have lots of antioxidants as well. So blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, all of these different fruits are great sources of antioxidants. And one kind of little, I think, interesting fact is that when you're looking at things like red grapes and blackberries, any of these different fruits that have an incredibly rich color, and especially when you see this reddish or purple color, that is because of those antioxidants. So optimizing the variety of different colors in your diet, and especially looking for these deep, rich colored fruits, is a really good way to go. That little rule of thumb also applies outside of the categories of fruits. So even things like kidney beans are also an excellent source of antioxidants. So the red apple also falls into this category, a great source of antioxidants. Now, one of the most well-known antioxidants is vitamin C. So we know that we get lots of vitamin C from oranges. We also get vitamin C from limes and from tomatoes and leafy green vegetables. Another wonderful and delicious source of antioxidants is the pomegranate. So on the outside, it looks like this, almost kind of looks like an apple. But on the inside, you have all of the little actual pieces of pomegranate that you can eat. And you just pick out the little pieces. It almost looks like a little kernel of corn in a way. But they are super cute, super delicious, and super packed with antioxidants. So the second tip is to manage your blood sugar levels and try to keep your insulin levels low. So this means reducing the amount of sugar and refined carbohydrates that you're consuming. And in addition to trying to reduce the overall amounts of those foods, there's also some simple things we can do to help manage and regulate our blood sugar. Now, I have an entire video on the topic of the glycemic index and working on being able to easily identify foods that are going to spike your blood sugar and foods that are going to give you a more slow and steady release of sugar into your bloodstream. Some other little tricks or tips that I think are useful are to really make an effort to reduce your snacking of really sugary foods. This would also include things like drinking sodas and sugary beverages. So any time that we are taking in a very large amount of sugar on an empty stomach, this is going to be extremely detrimental to our blood sugar regulating systems. It's going to elevate our insulin levels very high. So reducing the amount of sugar you're consuming is very important, but we're probably still going to have sugar cravings from time to time. So if we have a healthy way to satisfy a sweet tooth, that is a really great way to help manage and regulate our insulin levels. So first of all, we've already talked a lot about fruit. Now, fruit is going to be the healthiest way to satisfy a sweet tooth. And again, it's kind of a double bonus because we're replacing the refined sugar with something much better. And we are also getting those bonus antioxidants from the fruit. Now, it's always going to be better to consume the entire piece of fruit rather than to just consume fruit juice. Now, I'm not telling you to eat the apple core, okay? But I'm just saying to eat the fruit as opposed to the juice. Because when you do, you're going to get all of the fiber, enzymes, and other nutritional benefits that fruit contains. And oftentimes when we're looking at juice, we miss out on a lot of those nutrients, especially the fiber. And when we're talking about regulating our insulin levels, consuming the sugar with fiber is another really great way to avoid that really big blood sugar spike that causes you to release large amounts of insulin. So having a whole piece of fruit instead of a fruit juice. Another great thing, you can see I've almost gone through this entire bag of raw cacao powder. Is using something like raw cacao instead of having milk chocolate. Now, I'm just like full of the double whammies today because cacao is also a great source of antioxidants. It's fabulous. And when you consume the raw cacao bean or raw cacao powder, you're also getting the fiber that's naturally present in the cacao bean. They are also going to be a great source of different minerals. We get lots of magnesium from cacao powder, which is fantastic. So when you are looking for a healthy type of chocolate, it's really crucial that you look for this word, cacao, spelled with the C-A-C-A-O instead of cocoa with the C-O-A-C-O-A. So when you see the cacao like this, that is an indication that this is a raw product in its most natural form. Now, once the cacao is turned into cocoa, it's because it's been processed in one way or another. And usually this processing is going to deplete the nutritional value of the cacao. So really looking for something that says cacao powder or raw chocolate is going to be your indicator that you're getting all of those health benefits that are naturally present in this wonderful food. So tip number 3 is that in addition to getting more antioxidants in our diet, we can also increase our antioxidant exposure by using topical serums, creams, or products that contain antioxidants. Now, again, we have an example of a healthy food. Now, here's a healthy food you can put on your face. So this is sweet almond oil, and this is a great example of a healthy food that then also doubles as a great skincare product. So we get the kind of benefits both of the antioxidants of the almond and also those healthy fats that are contained here. So that could kind of be even kind of a bonus tip, is that getting healthy fats both in our diet and topically is another thing that's going to help lubricate and hydrate our skin so that we can have healthier and younger looking skin. Another great example is this little product by Cosmetica Skincare. This is Hydra C Serum. So this is a little topical serum that contains vitamins E and C. It also contains ferulic acid and hyaluronic acid. So when we're talking about the production of collagen that helps to make our skin not only have the elasticity it needs to move, but also gives it that firmness that we see in more youthful looking skin. Collagen production is dependent on having these different nutrients present so that your body can create the collagen itself. So this is a wonderful little product. I love this vitamin C serum. And again, what a great thing to put on your skin after you have exposure to the sun, because we know that sun exposure can increase that oxidative stress that we were talking about earlier. So having an antioxidant used topically, especially after sun exposure, is very, very beneficial. Another consideration when we're talking about products that we use on our skin is to consider that in the same way processed foods are going to actually be contributing to this oxidative damage, highly processed facial products or skincare products, things with a really long ingredient list of crazy sounding chemicals, things like methyl and propylparaben, fragrance, and sodium lauryl sulfate. These are all examples of chemicals that we just want to avoid as much as possible, especially for something that you use on your skin very, very frequently. You want to make sure that it is as natural and minimally processed as possible. So the facial soap that I use is this charcoal facial detox soap by Destiny Boutique. And if we look at the ingredients, we see that these are all very natural, almost food-based ingredients. So coconut, palm, olive, argan oil, shea butter, all of these are great oils for the skin. Peppermint essential oil, activated charcoal. Now, activated charcoal is a very cool ingredient. Basically, this is charcoal that has been sterilized and treated. so that it is porous. And what happens is that it ends up kind of attracting toxins, and those toxins then cling to the outside of the charcoal and then wash away as you wash your face. And if you've ever heard of somebody having their stomach pumped, they use activated charcoal for that purpose. Okay, so activated charcoal is another ingredient here. And then we have tea tree essential oil as well. So we have no parabens, we have no fragrance, and just in general, this is a great, very natural and safe soap to use on our face. I absolutely love this soap. It's kind of funny because you're washing your face with this big black soap, but it feels amazing, smells amazing. And I know that I'm doing something that's very safe and effective for my skin. Another easy way to manage your blood sugar is to consume a healthy source of fat when you consume sugar. Now, when you consume healthy fats or healthy proteins with a refined carbohydrate or sugar, it lowers the glycemic load of that meal. And that is just a fancy schmancy way of saying that that meal will not spike your blood sugar as severely as if you just have the sugar or refined carbohydrate by itself. Now, there are several scientific studies where they have examined the caloric restriction aspect of aging. And what they've found is that when animals are fed a restricted calorie diet, but ensuring that they are getting all of the nutrients that they need, they actually live a lot longer than animals that are fed higher amounts of calories. Now, it's really, really important to remember this key point, that if calories are restricted too much, to a point that you are not getting enough of the nutrients, both the macronutrients and the micronutrients that your body needs, then that's going to negate those beneficial effects. So it's really, really crucial that you are getting enough good nutrition and getting enough calories each day, but really making a point to not overeat calories, and especially at each individual meal, to try not to overeat excessively, as this is going to radically increase your insulin levels. You can learn more about me and my health coaching practice by visiting CorrinaRachel.com. I do hope that you will subscribe to the Psychetruth channel so that you can see more of my future videos. As always, I welcome your video topic requests and video ideas, so I look forward to hearing from you below. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again next time. Life, wisdom,